Good evening. Welcome to our show, Breakdown Show. Today we are having a guest. I'm Coach Jackson, the host. Today we'll be talking more about this organization na venye amekuwa akiendelea na organization, venye alianzia na more about this organization. So dive in, make sure una follow, una watch. Yeah. Karibu sana guest.
Thank you.
Yes, I'm Coach Jackson.
Yeah. I am Simon Wambua.
Yes.
And I'm glad to be hosted here. You have visited this place and I've heard much about it. So it's an honor to be here. I'm the Chief Operations Officer of an international group, a registered mentorship group called Global Mentorship Services. Mm-hmm. We are based in Joska, that is along Kagudo Road, and we have been operating essentially from 2022, although we were registered earlier. You realize it is immediately after the corona.
Yeah, after the COVID.
After the COVID-19. Mm-hmm. So things changed. That is one of the reasons we started the process, and we hit the ground running because we knew it is either survival or not surviving. Sorry. You see, those old days, mm-hmm. We used to hear stories of people saying, long time ago, it was like this. And people used to survive through just simple processes. But you know, the world has become a global village. Yes. And especially after the corona, after the COVID-19, the competition has narrowed us down to the global village, a circuit whereby either you survive or you are thrown to the peripherals. So that's when we partnered. We are two of us, the ones who partnered, the founders, myself, Simon, and a gentleman called Charles Ishoke, and both of us from Joska. And we came up with these global mentorship programs because we orientated them into our organization, a social enterprise, more or less like a company but partnership. Yes, thank you.
Okay, let me get you right. Like, when did this organization start?
This organization actually started around 2017.
2017.
That's when we had the idea. Let me explain. Our background was such that, you see, it's like God brings you together.
Yes.
Those people who have common interest. Myself, I've been in the corporate world. I've worked in the corporate sector, starting with companies like Bidico, Zika. What we have about 6 years. I joined a company called Unilever Kenya. That is in Nairobi. I was in the logistics function. I worked there for about 8 years. Yeah, 8 years. Then I joined another company called Ridley East Africa for making PK, BDG. Maybe you used to chew those kind of products. So as you shift in the career progression, roles and responsibilities change. You realize I started as a production supervisor.
Yes.
And I was moving along because that's my training. My degree is in Bachelor of Science, Food Science and Technology, University of Nairobi, where I graduated in 1990. It's quite a long time.
It's quite a long time.
Maybe those days you are. So, 91 I joined Bidico there. So now you are very passionate about technical work and all that. Then as I moved on to logistics, now my perspective of life and especially career started changing. Now I started applying what is called supply chain management. In fact, I did a diploma now in supply chain management. I became now in charge of logistics, stores, a bit of procurement, mainly handling inventory control. That's what now I've changed from production. Now I moved to inventory control, which is in logistics, supply chain management. That is from sourcing, how you source, how you do procurement, the need analysis. You start identifying how do you come up with the needs before you source something.
Yeah.
So the whole concept of business started coming to me now. You are moving from the purely engineering, technical aspect to the business concept now.
Yeah.
So now in the logistic department, in the supply chain, I became very involved in that kind of planning. Actually, the planning. So you start doing planning, the resources, ERP, what is called enterprise resource planning.
Yeah.
When you produce, when you are planning this, you have the human resource, you have the capital, you have the machines, you have the capacity, you have the materials, the stores, and you have the market, and you have the budget, you have the money to run the process.
Yes.
So we used to call them the 6M: man, machine, material, method, money, and market. You must combine the 6 for you to be able to run an enterprise.
Yeah.
So why am I telling you this? I'm telling you this because what I'm doing now in global mentorship, it is bringing that kind of acumen, that kind of expertise. That's what a mentor is.
So, so this global mentorship service started in 20?
Okay, now
after COVID or before COVID?
After.
Oh.
Now, after going through the processes, I was just taking you through my employment kind of career to give you a perspective. Before the COVID. Yeah. We went on just before, because sometimes the company would close down, or you are sometimes, like in Liver, we were structured out. There's something called SAP. Those years, there was a president called Daniel Arap Moi.
Yeah.
And the European, I think it's Americans, they pressurized Kenya because of the political climate, just like we are suffering now. The Gen Z, the way the thing is going.
Yeah.
So we came to what is called SAP, Structural Adjustment Program, was introduced. So there's a lot of squeezing in terms of finances. Those years of 91, 92, they started affecting. But by around 2000, now company like Unilever, which initially used to be called East Africa Industries.
Yes.
You realize that? They used to make products like Kimbo, Cowboy, and you had Rexona, soap products, things like Omo. All those were good products, Royco, Treetop, maybe you never found Treetop. So all those things, so the company had to be sold out. The government was pulling out from now this East Africa industry, it became now Unilever. So essentially, it is just because of the economic factors we were structured out. We used to call it retrenchment. You just have to go in those office.
Yes.
So continuously, this process, there was a lot of turmoil. Of course, after you leave one company, you get another one because maybe you have good papers, some connections here and there. So I found myself also even in another company called Green Forest in Embakasi, just near to Azambi there. That was just before the corona, as it was starting. I think 2020 up to 21. So we went on, but the business became, because of the pressure of what we started project, but they could not proceed. So essentially we had to leave. So now, apparently even my friend also went through the same process. He was working with the Barclays Bank. He went for 17 years. He was retrenched out for reason that is for another day. Yeah. So we come together. In fact, I remember we are on a project in museum about herbs. So you have to think outside the box. So we are thinking, can we start at this? We discuss, and then we met again, we discussed it. So since we are both from Joska, we were able to launch products. For a while I went to Uganda. I started manufacturing manure, these organic fertilizers. I also worked actually in Rwanda for 2 years, also making cooking oils there in Kigali. I've worked in a lot of these countries. Tanzania, I also did projects opening other companies there. So essentially, during that cycle of going around, we finally decided to form one organization. Why? Because we felt there was need for this kind of services which we could offer. The experience we have had in our employment background, like in finance and me in project management, supply chain, trainings. So, and he is very passionate also about training. And he's very versatile in this media because he's always in Soro FM and a radio station and all that. Plus, we go to the same church. Again, the church also brings you together.
Yeah.
You see how people meet. So I think destiny is somehow shaped by God so that you work together for a certain purpose.
Yeah.
Maybe that is the purpose I will explain to you now what it is about. Yeah, continue. Please.
Oh, thank you. And now, maybe, okay, maybe our viewers want to know, maybe when the organization started.
Yeah.
Maybe which year?
Okay. Now it started in 2022.
2022.
In fact, I remember I just moved in from Uganda to come and vote. 2022 is the time we are voting the election of August 22.
Yes.
So I told my employer there in Uganda, I was being told how to go to Kenya and vote. He knew I was very passionate about this man called Raila. I told you guys, you love the Raila. So you are going all the way to Kenya and leaving the job because of vote. Yes, I have to go. So I came. So when he came, we did the voting. Then this gentleman called me again. He said, now we had an idea before you went to Uganda. Why can we put it on paper?
Okay, that is 2022 now.
2022 now. Officially, that's when we launched the company and now started now the progress of global mentorship services. Yeah.
Oh, wow, thank you. And about the global mentorship services, what were you trying to solve?
That's a good question. Now, we had to sit down. We are strategists. And one of the things I've been doing, and which I do up to now, is preparing what we call strategic plans for organizations. In fact, I've been learning a living through that because this one area was very focused. So I know how to carry out a strategy. So we sat down and we said, what is the strategy? What need are we trying to solve? The first need we identified and which mobilized us is the unemployment in Kenya and in East Africa. Because I moved across all the countries in East Africa, I've been working in Rwanda, I could go Burundi, I would see Bujumbura, the way life is difficult there. Everybody just, people are finishing college, but again, there's nowhere they are going. I go to Tanzania, I find that when I'm in Dar es Salaam, the same kind of despair is there. So we knew there is need. When you have a need, there's business there.
Yes.
Let's agree on that. Yeah? So we knew there's a need. The question was how do we go about this? One, we do not have the finances. Secondly, we have just been retrenched. We are not be working together, and we need to find our balance, like finding our foothold in this market. So we said, okay, we identify exactly what is the need. One, people are leaving schools, school leavers, college people like TVET, who are just starting up, and university graduates and colleges and all that. So what next? After you've taken the child through the system or up to wherever he drops out, how do you help him out? One, global mentorship services has got 4 core pillars. The first one is giving skills to these people who are just fresh from school. We felt the job market, the demand is not matching what is coming out of the school. The person coming out is half-baked.
Okay. Are they limited about maybe the education level or what?
It's not really, education is what we call academic, and there is what we call skill gap.
Yes.
Competencies and skills.
Yes.
These are 2 different things. There's even a third or fourth aspect called wisdom.
Yes.
What actually in essence we call emotional intelligence, which people are not taught in schools.
Yes.
Our education system is soma, you go through standard 8, form 4, you are cramming biology, chemistry, physics, what. You know so much about mitochondria and cytoplasm and photosynthesis, but you cannot even handle your financial crisis. You cannot handle your emotional problem. You cannot handle these drugs and the abuse and the alcohol and all those kinds. Relationships, like you cannot handle even in marriage. They are breaking because people, they have been trained on how to handle 1+1, but they don't know how to to partner, how to build relationships, how to sustain, how to negotiate, and these kind of things. So when we went into that, my friend, you are a procurement guy, you know how to negotiate. How can you bring this in social life? So he said, okay. It happened when, maybe I can just take you a step back. In my courses, like in Wrigley, I was taken for mentorship and life coaching in Germany. That's around 2010, I think 2010, 2011 there. So why was I selected to go for that course? You see, as much as I may have more technical background, the people in the management, they saw me as capacity and potential of handling human relationships, especially in work, industrial relations. There is what we call CBAs, collective bargaining agreements, where people, the workers, they have their union, sometimes they want to go on strike. So this company, they would call me, the HR, the Human Resources Department, Simon, go talk to those people. You know you are very good in talking to people, coming, bringing them, talk to the union leaders, bring them together on the table. And so after doing several, I do it without effort. It is natural in me. So he kind of put me in the human resource and training function. I became a trainer and heading this training, idea generation, innovations. So I led that department until I was taken abroad. And now, in fact, I was the only African, let's say a black man, that there were 50 of us in Munich, Germany. Because 2 of them were from Africa, but I discovered they are from South Africa, and one is a Dutch, the other one is an Arab. But we are told we are from Africa. So I thought I was expecting to see some black fellows like me, but I was the only black man.
You are the only one.
So that's how I became very excited about coaching, mentorship. Actually, that is my beginning, before even we formed this organization. So when I left there, I was now certified as a mentor, certified organizational OD, organizational development, coaching aspects of all those kind of things. So when I came to the company, I was now the champion now for change, transformations, all these what we call continuous improvements. You know, part of the Kaizens. There are some things called Kaizen for improving the organization. So basically, with that background, and my friend who has been also training, in fact, he's very good for motivation, inspirations, teams, in churches, in the radio. So we said we have all the strength. And in fact, when we combine together, we found we can form a synergy. We can energize each other. And that's how we have been surviving. So now we can take the youth. Also, many of the youth, they don't know where to start looking for jobs, even from the university. Some they don't know, you know, the old days of applying, you send a letter to this company, you send another to brewery, to Unilever, to what, that doesn't work now. Nowadays, of course, they came another search engines, like what we call Brenda Monday. And my jobs in Kenya, isn't my jobs in Kenya, this kind of, now you can put your CV there.
Yes.
And the organization also to help you manpower services in geographic skills, so they can help you. But those are days you have to write a letter to the post office and send hundreds of letters. But the challenges still remained. Now with these, you know, the population has increased in Kenya. From those days when we were graduating, we were about 40 million. Now we are talking, I think we are that, around 90. I'm not sure the figure, but it's around that million. Yeah. Now we are talking, Kenya, we are about 55, maybe even more than that. So, imagine how many youth are leaving college right now. From the university, how many universities? We have over, I think over 60 universities. TVET, I'm sure, because me, I'm working with TVET closely, locating jobs for the youth. We have over 200 TVET. Those are registered. And there are small institutions in between who are just even private and all that. You can see how much output of college students are pouring in the market. These people, wamesoma, they have education, they have these academic papers they have. But how do you convert the academic papers into skills, into competency? Competency is now ability to work and deliver results. Yeah. And that's what the employer looks for. That's what the employer pays for. Employer is not paying you for a very nice first-class degree and all that. It's good for you, but how do you convert it to into results and deliverables for that work.